Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of EDU 600. We are now, well, come Monday, we will be entering week number 5, module number 5. We only have 7 weeks, so hang in there. I appreciate the effort that everybody has put in. Everybody should have gotten my comments on your article capture assignments. If you have any questions and or you need some help, please let me know. It's important that we nail down the article captures, or in some of the instances in the class, you might have gotten 4 out of 6 that were truly primary source documents, a primary resource, and I asked you to find 2 more. So you do not need to resubmit those to me. We will just find those, tuck them away, put them in the article capture, and we'll move on from there. So what we have right now, in week number 4, we had 2 assignments. We had the, we had the qualitative critique, which is due tomorrow, Sunday evening by midnight. If you can't get it done there and you need an extra day, just shoot me an email and that will be fine. And then the other one is the visual and displayed data assignment, which is due on Wednesday. And please don't go overboard with that. I'm really interested in, okay, 3 or 4 sentences. What's the story? What's the story of that particular visual display that you're looking at? Once again, any questions on either one of these assignments, let me know. So the purpose of this video is just an introduction to the materials, and there are a couple of things that I wanted to point out, and let's get right to it. Well, first of all, we have, in week number 5, we have part 1 and part 2. You can see there's different materials in each one of these, but they're both under the umbrella of quantitative research. So here's part 1. I did want to stress this. Please note the due date for the experimental critique assignment mentioned in this video, meaning this video here. This is about an 18-minute video that gets into detail about the materials in part 1 and part 2. So I didn't want to delete this, then record a totally new one. This is an excellent video which goes into the details of what is an experiment. What does it mean that you're looking at experimental research? And so please note the due date for the experimental critique assignment is not June 20th as mentioned in the video. The correct due date is August 7th. August 7th is what was in the syllabus. It's what's in the assignment. It's where you submit the assignment. Everything is August 7th. So I wanted to just give you a heads up. What is in this particular video, I mentioned June 20th. The correct date is August 7th. Okay, I'm not going to repeat everything because everything is repeated in the other video. Once again, what we have this week as far as assignments, we have an experimental research critique due here. I go through a really good example of what is a simple experimental research study. Right here, you can plow through that. So that's what's in part 1. Now, part 2. Let's switch gears, go to part 2. So, once again, we have the assignments, the experimental critique. I put the disclaimer in here, too. The experimental critique is due on August 7th, not June 20th, as mentioned in this video. Descriptions about, what is factorial design, single subject research. I think we have a few people in the class that are very familiar with single subject research or single case experiments, as, it's popular in the fields of special education and counseling. So there's certain things to do. Read chapters 9, 10. I have 4 videos. I apologize if that's too much for it, but you can be selective. You don't have to look at all of them. One other key that I wanted to mention while I have everybody's attention in this introduction video is that in the quantitative critique, or this is, the experimental critique. There's 4 experiments in that particular paper. So I want you to read the entire paper, The Effect of Walking on Creative Thinking. Now there's 4 experiments. I'd like you to focus your critique on experiment 1 or 2. You could do it on 1, you could do it on 2. But there's 4 experiments. You don't have to critique all of the 4 experiments. That would be a different paper. This is 1,000 to 1,200 pages, similar to what you're doing right now. Here are the chapter headings. There's an exemplar, a lot of videos. Once again, we have the critique. As you can see, it's due on the 7th, August 7th. I'll click on that, just so everybody is familiar with this. So here we are. We have the instructions again. I have an exemplar. So if you're looking for, okay, what does this paper look like? Just like last week, and I think some people didn't find this, but you go back, you click on that, it brings you to the instructions. We have an exemplar, and we have a quantitative critique guide. So between these, that should help. Take a look at the videos, and I mentioned it early in the course. This is not a statistical course. We will be talking about statistics. I encourage you to take a look at those chapters and/or what I posted last week. I'm not looking for a detailed instruction of what does it mean that the research used ANOVA. ANOVA is a statistical test. And you can mention what the tests that were used. I'm very interested in what p-values, any kind of p-values, and mostly I'm interested in, are the results statistically significant? So that's about it. This is a little longer. It's 2 minutes longer than I thought. Please let me know if you have any questions. And what I'd like you to do is take a look at the next video, which is the overview video. This is just an introduction. Any questions? Please let me know. Thanks, everybody.